House. It's nothing like the White House. And it's great to have you both and all of your wonderful people around. We've worked together for a long time. We've done well together. We had a great time. We say it's a lot of work, but we had a great result recently. And we're going to have a lot of great results. So it's great to have you. Thank you very much.
Thank you. I want to express the appreciation and admiration, not only of all Israelis, but of the Jewish people. And
you're seeing Skechers' famous glide step footwear every.
just cause, pursuit of peace and security, which you're leading in many lands, but now especially in the Middle East. We have great opportunities. The President has an extraordinary team, and I think our teams together make an extraordinary combination to meet challenges and seize opportunities. But the President has already realized great opportunities. He forged the Abraham Accords. He's forging peace as we speak, in one country, in one region after the other. So I want to present to you, Mr. President, the letter I sent to the Nobel Prize Committee. It's nominating you for the Peace Prize, which is well deserved. And you should get it.
Thank you very much. This I didn't know. Well, thank you very much. Coming from you in particular, this is very meaningful. Thank you very much, baby.
Thank you. Thank you for everything you're doing.
Thank you. It's a great honor. Thank you very much, everybody. Appreciate it.
Have you spoken with any of the families of the victims of Texas flood, and can you talk about what you would like to do when you travel there on Friday?
Well, we're going to just make it as comfortable as possible for the state of Texas. They have a great governor. They have wonderful senators. They have wonderful representatives, and we're going to work together with them. And we have been working really very hard. This whole table has been working. That was a terrible event. Terrible event. You saw that maybe where Texas was just absolutely so badly hurt by something that was a big surprise late in the evening. So we'll be working with the governor and all of the people of Texas. We'll be going on Friday.
Mr. President, there was a security incident in northern Gaza today, right around the time that the Prime Minister was meeting the Secretary of State. This was the Wickoff. Does that, a number of IDF soldiers reportedly been injured, possibly killed, does that in any way wrinkle in ceasefire negotiations with Hamas?
I don't think so. They want it. They want to meet and they want to have that ceasefire. So I don't think so. Steve, could you respond to this? You know about it?
Well, I think it's terribly unfortunate. Terribly unfortunate. We were just talking about it, how tragic it is, but we have an opportunity to finally get a peace deal, Mr. Prime Minister, as we discussed, and I'm hopeful for it very quickly.
Mr. President,
More or less final offer. Look, we're always subject to negotiate something that's fair, but we've talked to most of the countries, and pretty much they've had their way for many, many decades, as you know. And it was time that we just wanted fairness. This is not really equitable from our standpoint because it's just a small token by comparison to the damage that's been done over the years, but we had no other president that was willing to do this. I did it in my first term with China and others. We took in hundreds of billions of dollars of tariffs. No inflation, the most successful period of time that we've ever had financially in the country. The first term. I think this term is going to be much better, even much better than that. That was the best ever, and this is going to be, I think, substantially better. And we're on the way to doing that. We've already taken in over $100 billion worth of tariffs, and we haven't even started. And all I say to the other countries is, you know, some of them wanted to make a deal and want to be fair. Others perhaps got a little bit spoiled. They were a little bit spoiled because for 30, 40 years, 50 years, they were taking advantage of the country. So we're going to, I would say final, but if they call with a different offer and if I like it, we'll do it. I would say firm. No, I would say firm, but not 100% firm. If they call up and they say, would like to do something a different way, we're going to be open to that. But essentially, that's the way it is right now, yeah.
Mr. President, is your Palestinian relocation plan still on the table? Is there a plan? Has there been any progress in finding countries?
You know, maybe why don't I let you answer that question?
Mr. President,
Wait, he's got to answer the question.
I think President Trump had a brilliant vision. It's called free choice. You know, if people want to stay, they can stay. But if they want to leave, they should be able to leave. It shouldn't be a prison. It should be an open place and give people a free choice. We're working with the United States very closely about finding countries that will seek to realize what they always say, that they want to give the Palestinians a better future, and those who, and I think we're getting close to finding several countries, and I think this will be, again, the freedom to choose. Palestinians should have it, and I hope that we can secure it close by.
And we've had great cooperation from meetings surrounding Israel, surrounding countries, great cooperation from every single one of them. So something good will happen. Brian, did you have something?
Mr. President, you mentioned before, you want to go down as your legacy as the peacemaker. Are we in the last chapter of closing out peace amongst this conflict now and all the other?
Well, I hope so. Look, we did a job with India and Pakistan and Serbia, Kosovo, and Rwanda and the Congo, and this was all over the last 3 weeks or so, Marco, right? We did, and others that were ready to fight, and we stopped a lot of fights. I think a very big one, frankly, a very, very big one was India and Pakistan, and we stopped that over trade. We're dealing with India, we're dealing with Pakistan, and we say we're not going to be dealing with you at all if you're going to fight. And they were maybe at a nuclear stage, and both, nuclear powers. And I think stopping that was very important. We're trying to help out with a Biden-created monster, this whole thing that's happening with Russia and Ukraine. It's a horrible thing, and I'm not happy with President Putin at all. But this is something that would have never happened if I were president. This is a war that was never going to happen. Go ahead, Ron.
I was going to say, how would you address your critics? In election, they said that you would cause the next World War III, but in fact, you're solving all the wrong.
I'm stopping wars, and I hate to see people killed. Like, as an example, Ukraine and Russia, they're not Americans they're being killed. They're not Israelis that are being killed. These are all Russians and all Ukrainians, but it's 5,000, maybe 7,000 last week, 7,500 last week, mostly soldiers. But people in towns and cities that are getting hit, but mostly death is mostly soldiers. Now, so they don't come from here, but it's 7,000 last week souls. And if I can stop that, they have parents and they have sisters and brothers. And,
that's right.
Getting married, and who knows, they're just people, but they're souls. And if I can stop a war, because I have an ability to do so, I'm disappointed. President Putin hasn't stopped. I'm not happy about it either. Yes.
President, on the Iran talks, can you say if you've scheduled the next round of Iran talks, and then also on strike?
We have scheduled Iran talks, and they want to talk. They took a big drubbing. I think when we hit the 3 sites, really, I would say the 3 sites, not just the one. The one was a big one, and it was deep in granite, and it was obliterated. It turned out the Atomic Energy Commission said that it's obliterated. I just want to take our hats off to those incredible flyers, the people that flew that big machine, and frankly, the mechanics and everybody else. And they had zero. They flew for 37 hours with zero problem mechanically. I mean, when you think in carrying the biggest bombs ever, the biggest bombs that we've ever dropped on anybody, when you think non-nuclear, and we want to keep it non-nuclear, by the way.
Yes.
But they did a phenomenal job. It was an amazing job, and I think that was, I was talking to Bibi about it before, that was the very beginning of the end. It ended very quickly after that. I don't want to say what it reminded me of, but if you go back a long time ago, it reminded people of a certain other event, and is Harry Truman's picture is now in the lobby, in a nice location in the lobby where it should have been, but that stopped a lot of fighting, and this stopped a lot of fighting. When that happened, it was a whole different ballgame.
What is your strike? What can you say? What might make you have the desire to do another strike on Iran?
Another what?
Another strike on Iran.
I hope we're not gonna have to do that. I can't imagine wanting to do that. I can't imagine them wanting to do it. They wanna meet. They wanna meet, they wanna work something out. You know, they're very different now than they were 2 weeks ago.
Is there a date yet for the Iran talks or a city? As you know, when and where the next round of Iran talks will be?
Well, I can tell you, I'd rather not say, but you'll be reading about it tomorrow or seeing it tomorrow.
Mr. President, what is the holdup currently in ceasefire with Hamas?
In which?
In the ceasefire between Israel and Hamas, what is currently the holdup?
I don't think there is a holdup. I don't think there's a holdup. I think things are going along very well. They just, left each other, and it was not a pleasant period of a few days. It was a little longer than a few days, but this was not a pleasant period of time. And, we were, at the end, missiles were shot, and every single missile was shot out of the air. It was pretty amazing. That was sort of the end. And they told us they were coming and where they were and what time they were coming. And they said, if you'd like to have a different time, we'll do that. And that's respect when they do that. I appreciated that they did that. There was no surprise. We got the soldiers out of the base in Qatar, in this case. But they knew they were coming. 14 missiles were coming. 1 o'clock, they said, would you like to make it later? I said, no, let them come at 1 o'clock. And at 1 o'clock, everybody was, as you know, over 5,000 people left the base. And we had 3 gunners and 3 assistants. And out of the 14 that were shot, all 14 were knocked down. And that was the end. That was about it. And we had a rough time. But sometimes you need the rough time in order to get. I think things are going to be really settled down a lot in the Middle East. And they respect us, and they respect Israel. They respect a lot of things that took place. Nobody's ever seen equipment like what we sent over to knock out those sites. But when those sites were knocked out, that was the end.
Do you think that there could be a two-state solution that creates an independent?
I don't know. I'd ask Bibi that question. You have the greatest man in the world to answer that age-old question, 2-state. Go ahead, you give him your honest answer.
I think Palestinians should have all the powers to govern themselves, but none of the powers should threaten us. And that means that certain powers, like overall security, will always remain in our hands. Now, that is a fact, and no one in Israel will agree to anything else because we don't commit suicide. We want life, we cherish life for ourselves, for our neighbors, and I think we can work out a peace between us and the entire Middle East with President Trump's leadership. And by working together, I think we can establish a very, very broad peace that will include all our neighbors.
Mr. President, you asserted that there's
Thank you, Jill.
So what is the basis of the talks going forward? Is it to cap future nuclear activity? Is it ballistic missiles, terror support, economic-based opportunities?
It's really a good question, because if you remember when it was done, I sort of said, what's the purpose of talking? It's been knocked out completely. But they've requested a meeting, and I'm going to go to a meeting, and if we can put something down on paper, that will be fine, that'll be good. I think they gained a lot of respect for us. I think they gained a lot of respect for Israel also. But they would like to meet, and we're going to have a meeting. Steve, when is that meeting going to be? Do you want to say?
We have it very quickly, in the next week or so.
So we'll see what happens. I think it would be nice to memorialize it, put it down, but because of the incredible result of that attack, if you want to call it an attack, I didn't think it was necessary to have it in writing. I think we spoke. I mean, that speaks much louder than writing. But I can also understand why they want it. And they've been very nice. They've been very respectful. And it began by them telling us about 14. They had to do. You know what 14 represents, right? Do you know what 14 represents? Right? You know that, right? The number of bombs dropped. So it was, representative. We got them all. Yeah, please, behind you, please. No, you.
So this
is a question for the Prime Minister. A lot of the peacemaker in the cities or on Democratic associations in the local grid of Israel, I know yourself, and has said he would arrest you if you came to New York City if he was mayor. Is that something you take seriously? Are you concerned about that? Give a response to that.
Yeah, no, I'm not concerned about that.
I'll get him out.
Look, there's enough craziness in the world, but I guess it never ends. I mean, you have, this is a folly. And it's, it's silly in many ways because it's just not serious. But what is serious is the question I was asked before. You know, after October 7th, people said the Palestinians have a state. Hamas state in Gaza, and look what they did with it. They didn't build it up. They built down into bunkers, into terror tunnels, after which they massacred our people, raped our women, beheaded our men, invaded our cities and our towns, and our kibbutzim, and did horrendous massacres, the kind of which we didn't see since World War II and the Nazis, the Holocaust. So people aren't likely to say, let's just give them another state and it'll be a platform to destroying Israel. We work out a peace with our Palestinian neighbors, those who don't want to destroy us, and we'll work out a peace in which our security, the sovereign power of security, always remains in our hands. Now people will say it's not a complete state, it's not a state, it's not that. We don't care. You know, we vowed never again is now. It's not going to happen again.
So we'll see you in New York next year.
Oh, well, look, I'm going to come there with the President Trump, and we'll see how do you know who the mayor will be? I don't know that. Do we know that?
He's going to be very fine, and who knows, we don't know who the mayor's going to be yet. But this is a communist. He's not a socialist, he's a communist. And he said some really bad things about Jewish people, and he said some really bad things about a lot of people. And I think he's going through a little bit of a honeymoon right now, but he might make it. But you know, it all comes through the White House. He needs the money through the White House. He needs a lot. He's going to behave. He'll behave. He better behave, otherwise he's going to have big problems. But it's a philosophy that this country is not ready for, and it never will be. By the way, we have a man with us who thought this was going to be a very glamorous, easy job. He's the ambassador to Israel. I'm a governor, former everything. I'd say he's a former everything, and respected and loved by everybody. And he loves Israel. He loves the state of Israel, and nobody loves it much more. And he's not Jewish, and he loves Israel. And he wanted to be there. I said, you know, Mike, it could be dangerous. No. Well, at least I was right about that. He was in every bunker you could be in. He was running around from bunker to bunker, but he's still with us, fortunately, and he's done a great job. Would you say a few words?
Just want to say what an honor it is to serve you, Mr. President, and to see a historic horizon that we're looking at in the Middle East. And when the President made his trip to the Middle East, and then he really reached out to the new Syrian government, knowing they needed a partner, and knowing that they could pick the wrong partner. And what the President did, which took us all off guard, but the strategic move in that has set up something that is absolutely historic. And Mr. President, I don't even think you fully comprehend the impact that you're having on the region in a way that is so remarkable. And it was your leadership, your force.
Running like a field day.
Celebration, the sense of partnership that you gave with the Israeli people was so dramatic. But the message was bigger than to Israel. It was a message to the world. America's friends can trust us, but America's foes had better fear us. And that is a message that the President sent to everyone on the planet. And it is a message that will resonate toward a matter of peace, the likes of which I don't think we've ever seen. So thank you.
Great job you're doing.
Thank you.
They love you all. They respect him and they love him. You know, it's very, very interesting. We had the pilots here yesterday, as you know, and they were incredible. And we also had the mechanics. We had a lot of people here that had to do, a lot of people, I think about 170 people that had to do with that incredible journey. A journey that could have been horrible. You remember what happened with Jimmy Carter with the helicopters and all of the problems, and ultimately hostages. We had the exact opposite. Everything was perfect, it worked perfectly, but I didn't realize, I was saying to one, is this something that you felt strongly about? Absolutely, sir, I couldn't wait. I said, better than you, or really better you than me, but they couldn't wait. He said, sir, we've been practicing for this mission for more than 20 years. From just after 2000, they've been thinking and practicing to go into that area. I guess you probably know that better than anybody, Pete. They've been looking at going in, but they never had a president that would allow them to do it. And perhaps right, perhaps wrong. I don't know if that's true or not, but I didn't realize they were preparing for that journey from just a little bit after 2000, the year 2000. And I was pretty amazed by that. They knew it. They knew every inch of it. And they came back and they said, we got it better than we ever did in practice. But they've been practicing for more than 20 years. Can you imagine? Yeah.
On Ukraine, Mr. President, are you planning to send more weapons to Ukraine?
We're going to send some more weapons. We have to. They have to be able to defend themselves. They're getting hit very hard now. They're getting hit very hard. We're going to have to send more weapons. Your defensive weapons, primarily, but they're getting hit very, very hard. So many people are dying in that mess.
Mr. President, if there one big beautiful bill now signed into law by you, what would you like congressional Republicans to turn in?
All they have to do now is talk about how good it is. The biggest tax cut ever. No tax on tips, no tax on Social Security, think of it, no tax on overtime. From a business standpoint, the jobs are coming in like we've never seen them before. As soon as that was signed, there were 9 factories that announced that they were building the 1-year deductibility, things that from a business standpoint you'd understand. The jobs that are being created, and one of the things that is, and this is also that, but it's also because of the tariffs and tremendous success. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars in tariffs. And one of the things that is so exciting is the number of companies and car companies where they're building plants. AI is the big thing. We have over $15 trillion announced already, and it's been, really, I would say it's been during the last 3 months, but we're here for a short period of time, and some administrations never had anywhere near that number for a whole term, probably for a whole 2 terms. But we're up to over $15 trillion coming into our country. There's never been anything like it anywhere in the world. There's never been an investment like that anywhere in the world. Look, I told this story, and I just told it to Bibi backstage. I was talking to him, and I said, the King of Saudi Arabia, smart guy. And also we went to Qatar, and we went to UAE. Really 3 strong leaders, smart guys. They all told me the same thing, and then that was reiterated at NATO just recently when we got back, where they agreed to spend $1 trillion a year, by the way, which is about 3 times what they were spending. But they all said the same thing. We thought your country was dead. Horrible term, right? We thought the United States of America was dead, and now you're presiding over the hottest country anywhere in the world. We're the hottest country in the world. I think Bibi would admit it, even hotter than Israel, though Israel was pretty hot about a week ago, I can tell you, for the wrong reasons. But we are the hottest country in the world right now, and it happened faster than anybody thought possible. But we have over $15 trillion, and that means jobs, and that means building, and that means things like we've never seen before. So all we can do is keep working hard. There'll be always surprises. Some of the surprises are going to be bad surprises. Well, I would say that the best man to answer that is the Prime Minister. But I will tell you that in my view, I hope it's over. Yeah, I think Iran wants to meet. I think they want to make peace, and I'm all for it. Now, if that's not the case, we are ready, willing, and able. But I don't think we're going to have to be. But I think Bibi would answer that question very well.
I think the partnership between Israel and the United States, the partnership between President Trump and me, produced a historic victory. It's an incredible victory, actually. It brought the...
Since forever, we've hated Mondays, but it doesn't
Trump. Thank you everyone for joining us, and thank you for a moderator that just joined us. I want to say hi to you, and we'll go right back. Oh, that's good.
Victory. And I think, as was said here today, this has already changed the face of the Middle East. But I think that there's an opportunity here to create a historic expansion of the Abraham Accords, which were themselves an act of history, that deserve a Nobel Prize for the president. But I think the opportunities are much bigger. And I hope, I'd like to believe that Iran would not test our fortitude, because it would be a mistake. It's better to go a different way.
Do you believe a regime change is still necessary there?
But I think it's up to the people of Iran.
Mr. Prime Minister, speaking of Syria, the Trump administration was fully supportive of the changes in Syria back in the new regime there. Obviously, your government more cautious from a security standpoint. Are you comfortable with the pace of change of the security situation vis-a-vis Syria right now?
I think there's an opportunity to explore. I think that everyone understands that the situation's changed. Before that, Iran was essentially running Syria, okay? Directly through Hezbollah. Hezbollah has been brought to its knees. Iran is out of the picture. So I think this presents opportunities for stability, for security, and eventually for peace. And I think that's been opened up also by the fact that the president has opened up a channel. So they have something. There's a lot to lose by going back to conflict, and there's a lot to gain by moving towards peace. And I think that opportunity has been opened by the president and by the changed security situation which we brought about with the collapse of the Assad regime.
Have you had talks with the Assad government?
Now, let's suppose there were. Would I answer yes? No, right?
That's my duty to ask.
Right? It's your duty to ask, and my duty to ask you back. So,
You know, at the
Peace
request
through
of a lot of
strength.
countries in the surrounding area of the Middle East, including Bibi, we took the sanctions off Syria, and I met the new leader. I was very impressed by him, and somebody said, well, he comes from a very tough background. I said, well, you know, I'm not that surprised. It's a tough part of the world, but I was very impressed by him. But we took the sanctions off because we want to give them a chance. They would never have had a chance without the sanctions. And one of the things we have with Iran is, you know, we have what they call biting sanctions. They are very biting sanctions. And I would love to be able to, at the right time, take those sanctions off, give them a chance at rebuilding, because I'd like to see Iran build itself back up in a peaceful manner and not going around saying death to America, death to the USA, death to Israel, as they were doing. You know, they were the bully of the Middle East, and now they're not the bully anymore. But they were saying terrible things, and would like to see them. They have such potential, you know. They have the oil power, and they have great people, smart people, energetic people, amazing. And I know so many Iranians from New York. I have a lot of friends, and they're great people. So it's a shame when you see a thing like this happen. But I think that taking the sanctions off of Syria is going to give Syria a great shot at making it.
A congressional question. Are there any executive orders that you'd like to see Congress focus on when they come back and say,
Thank you.
Prioritize, you go first?
Well, we've done a lot of them in the last, as you know, I always say the great, big, beautiful bill. I had the word great. But it was the largest bill of its kind ever passed. We were talking about it before. It was beauty. But you know, a lot of the things that we did, executive orders, have been codified in the legislation that we just had passed. And we're going to be sending in a lot more over the next period of about 2 months separately. But a lot of it was part of that beautiful big bill.
President, on tariffs, what happened to 90 trade deals in 90 days?
Oh, we've spoken to everybody. We know it's all done. I told you, we'll make some deals, but for the most part, we're gonna send a letter, we're gonna say, welcome to the United States. If you'd like to participate in the greatest, most successful country ever. I mean, we're doing better than ever. We have, I don't think, and you're gonna see these numbers soon. We've never had numbers like this. We've never had investment like this. We have more than 90, we're gonna have much more than 90, but most of those are gonna be sent a letter. This is exactly what I said. Now, we made a deal with United Kingdom, we made a deal with China, we made a deal, we're close to making a deal with India. Others we met with, and we don't think we're gonna be able to make a deal, so we just send them a letter. If you wanna play ball, you have to, this is what you have to pay. So as far as I'm concerned, we're done. We're sending out letters to various countries telling them how much tariffs they have to pay. Some will maybe adjust a little bit depending if they have a, cause. We're not gonna be unfair about it. And actually, it's a small fraction compared to what we should be getting. We could be asking for much more, but for the sake of relationships that we've had with a lot of really good countries, we're doing the way I do it. But we could be getting a lot more, we could ask for a lot more than what we're asking for.
Well, you say you're done because you're sending the letters to follow what Ed had asked earlier. You're counting these as deals by saying, here's the tariff rate, we're going to charge.
I'm saying, here it is, congratulations, welcome to the United States. I hope you make a lot of money and you're gonna pay us money. They were ripping us, they were charging us tariffs at levels that nobody's ever seen before. We have some countries that are charging 200% tariffs.
Wow.
And making it impossible to do business. And what the tariffs are doing is they're driving people in and companies into the United States. That's why we're building all of the work that you see happening in this country right now, and it's at a record level. All the factories, all of the AI institutions that are being built. It's largely because, I think it's because of November 5th, the good election, and I think it's because of the tariffs. Thank you all very much. Thank you. I don't know, but it looks good to me.
Wow. It's amazing to hear from the President of the United States as frequently as we are hearing from him. This is what I admire about this administration is that the previous administration, we didn't get to see cabinet meetings. Them sitting around the executive board and they're going over and everybody's being held accountable. What did you get done, say this week, this month, for the betterment of this country? Tomorrow, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe, and the notification bell because, like we was on earlier, but you have to hit the bell so that you're notified once we go live, and we will be live tomorrow for the cabinet meeting. And it's a blessing to have administration that's transparent, whether you agree or not. At least this man is inviting us all in that we can participate. We can have our own discussions on our social medias, what's going on, and we can voice our stance on things that affect us as countrymen. So it's a wonderful thing. I think we need to take this into account because we didn't get any of this, if you're going to be honest. We didn't get any of this with the previous administration. There were no reporters asking random questions, and the president would answer for over 30 minutes. Random questions from reporters who are against him. Biden didn't answer any questions. He didn't have any reporters randomly and him answering to anything, and it wasn't required. You have these journalists that went to school, have master's degrees, PhDs, and they were not doing their jobs. They allowed them to not be held accountable for the American people because they got a pass, because mainstream media is being run by the Democrats. That's who own mainstream media. It's the Democrats. So everything that they do is going to be in favor of them by not holding them accountable. And that's what happens. So as an American citizen, I appreciate, and I was not for Trump. I was not for Trump. It's the first time he was running. I thought like the world was going to end once he got elected to the presidency. But I had no idea that he was supposed to be the boogeyman, and the boogeyman were the wolves in sheep clothing. They had me fooled. We allow administration that had the presidency, the cabinet, and the Senate for for years, and they had the presidency for 12 of the last 16 years, and they still didn't get anything done for us. Especially, I'm talking about the black community. They 93% of us aimlessly go to the polls and vote for administration that haven't done anything. Only thing they offer us is the violent. Oh me, oh my, oh y'all down, y'all need this, snaps and all that. When we can work, we're intelligent, articulate, we are movers and shakers. So they haven't even caught up to our capabilities. But when people like New York, like that mayor talking about free handouts, that's the same thing as welfare, SNAP, and all that.
No, what's blasphemous is Joe Biden having day of visibility on the day of resurrection, which is Easter.
Amen to that.
That's what's blasphemous.
When you have someone running for office and they're saying we're going to give you free bus rides, what do people who don't want to work, who don't want to get jobs, they're like, oh, that's the person I want, but that's heading towards destruction. They're heading towards destruction. So I just believe, I don't know how you guys feel, like I respect him for speaking up, for speaking out. Nothing is hidden. Nothing is hidden. He tell you what he's going to do and he does it. He tell you months before, when he was running, he said what he was going to do. And guess who kept their word? He said he was going to close the border, right? Did he close the border? Is the border now closed? How many excuses did Biden get for opening up the borders and then not closing the borders? The border's closed. You know how many people are getting through? Zero. Zero people. They got the border on lockdown now. And that's something that Biden administration refused to do because it's not about the illegal immigrants. It's about votes. They gave them what black people have been trying to get for the last 400 years. But the black people aren't going to get anything because guess what? They don't have to earn our votes.
No.
They don't have to earn it. We give it freely.
Mio, we were born and raised in America. We're American citizens.
We give it freely. We give our votes freely. Only Americans can vote.
Daniel Price, I dare you, bruh.
We give it freely. We just give it away, and we don't have them to earn it. So what did they do? They said, let's open up the borders. Let's bring in people who haven't earned anything, haven't worked for anything, and we're going to put them in sanctuary cities. Somebody was a brainchild of all of this.
The Blueberry, did you know that Joe Biden mass incarcerated people? So you would actually black people. You would actually be what you're saying that we are if you were for Joe Biden, technically.
Yeah, Joe Biden was the author of the 1994 crime bill that caused mass incarceration of black people. Just in case y'all don't know that, because I didn't know that when I was supporting him.
And Trump got black people out of jail.
And Trump is the one that did the First Step Act.
Yeah.
For the release of, the people that, Joe Biden locked up. And then he going to have the audacity to sit with a black father and his two sons around the table without the black mother. He couldn't believe how articulate and intelligent and how they had aspirations and dreams. Just because we're different complexions, that don't mean that we can't speak well and we don't have dreams and aspirations. He was like shocked. He gonna bring a bucket of chicken, which was offensive as it is, but we do love chicken. Everybody like chicken. But he gonna have a hamburger. But bring the filet mignon, bring the lobster, bring that too. We enjoy a good filet mignon. So, but it's amazing how blindsided we are as a community. Yeah. And my goal is for black people to wake up and have 2028, have whoever is going to get put in office, they're going to earn our votes. They're going to earn it. Let them earn it. Because the Democrats, they have no policy. They have no solutions. There's no leader. All they do is deflect from not working. Are they trying to lower the economy? What are they doing about inflation? Are they trying to lower the interest rates? Are they creating more jobs? Are they making better, education department for our children? Because we're like our kids can't read and write. They can't even do
Yo,
arithmetic.
yo, Blueberry is weird. I think that they got a crush on me.
So there's a lot to be done. But guess what? Like they say woke. Okay, black people, we're waking up because more and more of us are not going for the same okie doke, the same lies, because all they do is lie, lie, lie. We can't get an anti-hate crime bill, and they gave the illegals our reparations. They didn't have to pay taxes. And guess what? You know what's so funny about it? They have the audacity. The ones, not the ones that's been here. The ones that's been here, they've been model citizens, illegals. They have not burned flags. They did not, destroy property. They didn't do any of these things. I'm talking about the ones that came in here now. They feel entitled to our taxpayer money.
Yeah, and Fizzle said the biggest issue is families not being whole. Black, white, any race at home. Values are taught.
That's exactly right. And then black people, when you take the head out of the household, that affects everyone. That means that mother's at work, so nobody's raising the kids. The streets are raising the kids. So the kids are like, they tell them, oh, you want those Jordans? You want those LeBrons? You want those Steph Currys? Go steal. Not go to school and get an education and get your degree as in physics. But to steal.
Linky, you're just a hypocrite. Because no, Jesus would actually condemn Joe Biden having day of visibility on Easter. He would condemn Kamala telling Christians to go to the smaller rally down the street. That's who he would condemn, not President Trump. Not saying he's perfect, but you got it backwards.
Well, Jesus is not into God is holy. Can we agree about that? Can you agree that God is holy? God is not about sin. There's no sin in heaven. That's the devil. That's hell. God is not about sin. So when you come up with LGBTQ, that's the direction that the Democratic Party went into. They went into LGBTQ. That Obama, the first black president, they put him in office to put a agenda going against the word of God. Because that's what it is. And then they put Biden in because they wanted him to be the president of transgenders and illegals. So the party is not the same.
CEO, she's explaining it right now why a black person would support Trump. We've already explained it.
The party is not the same. It's not the same. I'm not going to support abortion, and I'm not going to support a party to go against the word of God. Period.
James B, to your...
But you can.
James B, to your question, a lot of black people that have gone to jail were actually innocent. You could look up who Kamala actually sent to jail for. He had the death penalty for a crime he didn't commit. So you're saying for black people to stop blaming someone else when a crime happens, that sometimes it's not them who actually committed the crime.
Do you understand that even today's time that black people have a target on their back per se? You can have illegal immigrants go into the same store. Guess who they're going to follow around the store? Guess who's going? It doesn't matter if you have a diamond necklace on worth $1 million. It doesn't matter if you pull up in a Rolls Royce. When you go inside the store and you are black, you are targeted because it's already supposed to be believed that you're going to take something from that store, or because of your beautiful pigment that you're somehow are the danger. That's even right now. So what black people have to do is go to school, get your education. Knowledge is power. Become that doctor, become that engineer, become that teacher, that professor, that scientist, become that plumber, become that entrepreneur, become that business owner. That should always be your goal. You don't need someone giving you anything. Just like Trump said, go and earn it. That's because there's more multi-millionaire black people next to white people. We are like the second highest spending power in the world. You know how many billionaires we have in the black community and multi-millionaires and people living not just middle class, upper middle class, middle class.
Yo, Daniel
It's
Price.
like we are. It's a lot of us out here.
Daniel Price, I'm into just girls, I'm not into you, bruh.
You know, so we need to educate ourselves. Push education. Don't make yourself a target because whether you're doing something or not, you will be arrested. Go out there and rally. That's why you have to stand down. They're letting those immigrants get kicked. When can a black person kick a cop in the head and flip them off, and then you're released within an hour? That doesn't happen. You'd be shot dead in our community. So they can exercise discipline, but black people are, they have it set up like Joe Biden, that 1994 crime bill. He said that we were beyond rehabilitation, that we were beyond lapel, that he said that black people were super predators. When you label people like that, no matter how articulate, intelligent that they are, you have people that have done amazing things in this country, but they still are labeled.
Yeah.
They're still labeled. So we have to change that.
Yeah.
It's not that we commit more crimes. Everybody knows we don't commit more crimes. I think we are the like, if you're a different ethnicity, you can steal whatever you want to because they're gonna watch us. We're a decoy. We're a decoy for the people that's really stealing.
Yeah.
But when we go into before a judge, then they over sentence black people, whereas other people would get probation or dismissed. These are facts. So we have to change that.
Yeah,
and the Democratic Party been in power for all that time, and they didn't change the narrative. So bye-bye. You guess who's doing something more for our community? Who? You wouldn't believe this answer. Y'all not gonna believe it. Y'all not. Can y'all guess? Let me see. Can y'all guess who's really have done something more for our community? Just in case you don't know who's done more for us than all these other people talking smack, has been Trump. And we didn't do anything for him. Go ahead, you want to read something?
Yeah, they were basically saying, I wanted their username too. I think they were named SGB. But they were saying why, yeah, here they are, PGB. They said, why should the black community support the sorry hate Democrats? If they had their way, blacks would still be slaves. Thanks to Republicans, they stopped that.
Yeah, but you know what? A lot of communities, I didn't know. KKK, guess what party? Democrats. Jim Crow, guess what party? Democrats. Slavery, guess who was pushing it? What would be called now? Democrats. The Democrats are the ones that act like they're for the working people. They might have been, I don't know what year that was, but they're not for the working people now. They're not, really, be honest. They're not. They're not doing anything for Americans. Look at every last one of their news broadcasts, say the last 8 or 9, 10 months, year. They're not talking about us. They want us to be riled up for people who have broken the law to come here, and they're telling the law enforcers, they're supposed to enforce the law, to don't come into my city, don't come into my town, because we want criminals to do whatever they want to.
Daniel Price, you're just
crazy.
You're just cherry picking information. Trump is getting the worst of the worst out of this country. These people don't have the same morals and values as American citizens.
And America's for immigrants. See, what people try to do, they try to flip it like America's not for immigrants.
Yeah.
We want them to come in legally. They need to be, because that's the only way you're going to respect this country. When you give people everything which has been given to the people that have came into this country the last 4 years, look what they do. They burn the flag. They spit on the flag. They disrespect Americans. They don't follow our laws. And they act like they are entitled to more than Americans. That's because that's what happens when people don't earn it. Just like your children. When you give them everything and they don't earn it, then there's no respect. So the ones that came in now, that's been given everything, they have no respect for this country. And they show it by their actions. And they aren't even citizens. You broke the law.
Drew, you're just cherry picking information.
They don't want the our law enforcers to follow the law.
And Drew, tell the
It's
full
crazy.
story. He's saying,
But they're supposed to follow it for black people, white people, Hispanic people, everybody else, but not the illegal immigrants. Are not. They get a pass. They're not supposed to follow our American laws, right? But we're supposed to. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. You know, people, they know the truth, but when you have your own agenda, whether it's right or wrong, they're going to stand 10 toes down for it because of the fact that they don't want to follow the law. They don't want to. And they want to overpower our government and overpower our rules and regulations. And they want to do whatever they want to do. They want lawlessness.
yeah, people in the comments keep cherry picking information. Like, what about this person got deported? They had a family here.
If they had a family here, they're supposed to go with their family. They can go with their family.
No, they say they had family born in the United States.
Well, they can probably stay, but they can't stay because they aren't citizens.
And they were Iranian.
They could take their kids or their American children with them. That's what they can do. And their American kids, when they get older or whatever, they want to come back, then I guess they can come back. But nobody's going to divide. You know whose family's been divided? Black families. Every time one of our fathers and sons and all that have gone to prison or our slavery, we were divided.
Appreciate it, Laura.
We were divided. Oh, nobody boo-hooing for us.
Thank you for subscribing.
And we're Americans. We are Americans. We are proud to be Americans. God bless America. God bless you, everyone on here. And if you're illegal on here, apply for citizenship. Apply.
Someone said they hate getting mad because they're cooking dinner right now. I can't tell you.
See, that's God. God is so good. But you know what? We can agree to disagree. That's what the platform is for. Nobody has to go along with what anyone says. You know, some people, they want to push this agenda. There's nothing wrong with applying for your citizenship.
No, Drew,
what you want to be an American citizen. You respect us when you apply for it, and you have to earn it, not given to you.
Drew, I'm saying you're cherry picking, not because it doesn't matter if the stories are everywhere. I'm saying you're cherry picking because you're taking the few stories of people that, okay, maybe they should just be in America. You're not looking at the full picture.
It's like 20 million of them. They ain't talking about
people
one.
that should be deported. And plus, you got to be in this country legally.
It's like everywhere else in the world, this is the law. And it's the law here. But that's called because there's an entitlement going on now. I don't have to follow the rules. I can be destructive. I can tear up the cities. I can burn the flag. I can fly my flag from where I say I don't want to be at. But I'm flying the flag. Right now in Mexico, the citizens are deporting American citizens, not the government. The citizens are. So what happens when American citizens do the same thing? They're deporting, they destroying property, and they're deporting their citizens in Mexico are deporting Americans, not the president, not ICE like we have. That's what they're doing to people. And that's what they brought here. Those same people brought that here. All that disruption, all of that unrest, all that lawlessness. That's what they brought here. They start making United States not even look like the United States of America. It was terribly beginning to look like a third world country.
Leon Basket, we use a platform called Ground News, and that's where we get our information from. So we're not looking at any biased news station.
Yeah.
We're middle ground with this. But a lot of you people, what I'm saying is a lot of people like to cherry pick informations about the ones that maybe they shouldn't have got. But if you look at the majority, no, they do need to go. and come to this country legally. I'm not saying for them not to be here. They could come just legally.
Yeah, and it's funny, like you even have to make that statement. People
Yeah.
know that they're supposed to come here legally, but then it's like take a lot of nerve to be given health care, clothes on your back because you came here homeless, shelter, education, food, everything, and then you want to tell us like we owe you something. Unbelievable.
Someone said they coming after you and your little baby boy.
We bind that up in the name of Jesus. You know, see, that's the difference about being in America. If you don't like the content, you could go somewhere else.
Yeah.
You don't even have to tune in to what we have to say or what they're saying in the chat, because everybody's not going to agree with you.
Yeah,
this is not a third world country. This is not, we have freedom of speech in the United States of America. And we're not going to have anybody, see, we cover with the blood of Jesus. We're not going to have anybody that feels so emboldened to report them. Okay. They feel like that they want to threaten. If you can't handle the truth, then you need to get off and go suck your thumb and go listen to someone else. But that's what has to happen. Nobody says anything about you having your own opinion. Nobody, we allow you to be on the platform, but you're not going to be threatening. You're not going to be disrespectful or anything. No, you're not going to control what people think. You can't control what people believe. Just like we can't control what you think or believe.
Yeah, now someone else is saying it too.
We'll report them. Because you don't have to be on here. You're choosing to be on here because you must have had a miserable day. And you can go talk to your neighbor like that. Go talk to your neighbor. Go talk to your boss like that. Go talk to some of your friends, wherever you are. Go talk to the store owner down the street. Because see, people that you right in your face, y'all don't say any of this to them because you're cowards. You don't go talk to people who disagree with you that's right in your face. But that's right there. Go the things, your beliefs, you need, show yourself, give your name, your picture. You go tell those same people what you have to say on this platform. That's what you need to do.
But I know that's when we have like a reaction to something someone says and we don't agree with it. More people say what they said to try to get us like upset and stuff is what I noticed.
Yeah,
that's
but
right after he said it, someone else.
Yeah, we're not going back and forth. Yeah. You have a right to your opinion. And we leave it at that. But don't get upset because we might say something you don't agree with or someone in the chat says something you don't agree with. This is a platform for Republicans, Democrats, non-voters. It's a platform for independents. It's a platform that this is how you come together as a community.
Daniel, you're getting banned because you're not going to do nothing in anyone's face, especially not my mom.
Look, but no, do that to your neighbors. See, they don't do this stuff to the people. Where do you live? Yeah, because there's a lot of people.
I'll meet you.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that don't agree with you. So if you that small of a man with little balls, that you don't need to be online because there's a lot of people that say what we're saying, but they go deep into it. They're a lot more harsher than we are. And they're a lot more arrogant than we are.
Yeah.
A lot more. They real dudes. There's some real dudes out there. Talk to those real dudes. Don't come on here because y'all see a female and then you want to be emboldened. Because we hit back. The people don't do one-way fights. There's no one-way fights going on. But if you can't handle it, then don't come on social media. Don't come on this particular channel because it's unacceptable. And we will report you and they will find out who you are. And because you can't just say off-the-wall stuff.
But these people know they're behind a computer screen. They're cowards. They wouldn't say this in real life.
They got neighbors. This is They could go outside and they could find 1,000 people easily that don't agree with them. Pick one. They right there in your face. Pick one. Pick a man. Pick a man. Pick a man.
Oh, thank you, Cole.
You know, they right there. You got people on your job, if you work, that don't agree with you. You got people at the supermarket, at the stores, your neighbors. Go up to them and say what you say on this platform. If you big and bad, go to them. Don't do it to people that you don't agree with because you behind the internet. That's a coward.
Oh, like I said, I don't agree with most of your takes, but I agree with this. Online people be keyboard warriors.
Yeah, we want it. Thank you. We thank you for that. And we want people on here because this is how we should be communicating. Us talking is not going to change society, but we'll have more of an understanding. You have more of an understanding. You see how people are thinking. But those keyboard, like he said, warriors, don't come on people. If you don't agree with a platform, just don't you have a right not to listen. There are thousands of other platforms you can go on that people are being in agreement to what you believe in. Don't just come on a platform that you don't agree with anything and then you upset that they're not saying what you want to hear. It doesn't make, but they're allowing you to say whatever you want to say, and everyone in the chat, y'all can having y'all conversations. Everybody in the chat is not going to agree with you. They don't agree with all Republicans. They don't agree with all MAGA. They don't agree with all Democrats. They don't agree with all dependents. Everybody's not just agreeing to everything. Is that two people?
What?
Is that
That's
one
one
person?
person.
Yeah, everybody's not agreeing to everything. And that's the way the world is. Your own wife or husband don't agree with everything you say. Your kids don't agree with everything you say. How you going to expect adults, you come on a platform, they supposed to agree with everything you say? That's not even the real world, and you know it. It's not the real world. Nobody's going to agree with everything you say.
Daniel, that's so flattering, dude. You really in your feelings, bro. Go listen.
But it's like the men need to be men these days. They're so weak and sensitive and emotional. I mean, get out of your feelings.
Yeah, go listen to some Drake. He is totally in his feelings.
You need to report him?
Yeah. He was really mad, really in his feelings.
But it's just, people, everybody's on here is not from the United States. Because here, we have freedom of speech. Most people that we hear talking, we do not agree with. That's real life. And you're not going to control what people say. So don't listen to them. That's what you can do. Just don't listen to them. If you don't like what's going on here, you're welcome to leave. Don't ever come back. Go to a channel that you like the content.
Daniel, you're literally too scared to even have a picture of yourself, bro. You have a picture of an eyeball. Like,
Oh,
are we
really?
supposed to take you serious?
Oh, God.
You would never say this to my face in person. I guarantee you that. It's gonna get banned.
Well, anyway, you guys, we're gonna get off, and we appreciate everyone for coming on. And it's like people are really sensitive now, especially men for some reason. They're very emotional, very sensitive. They get in their feelings. If you can't handle a discussion, then don't come on.
That's the type of man Democrats want, a feminine man.
Yeah, you're not going to change what's going on. The only thing that change what's going on are votes, period. If you don't like what's going on, vote in the next election. But meanwhile, we are talking about what's here and now, what's going on in 2025. That's what we're doing. This is current news. And everything we're talking about is on the news right now. And everybody's talking about it, not just us. This just gives you an opportunity because it's live to express yourself. But if you can't express yourself on a live, then just don't do lives. Just look at content that people upload. They can't get a response from you. That's more suitable for you. Thank you.
Yeah,
Holy crap, super. You know how your families in Jesus Christ, Messiah, your holy name.
yeah,
What did it
she's
say?
great, Laura. She said,
Okay.
Holy God, super bless you both and your families in Jesus Christ, Messiah, holy name. You as well, Laura. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you so much. And God said that no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Read that. And every tongue that rise up in judgment, thou shalt condemn. People just gotta just stop being so sensitive. Everybody, I'm trying to teach you something.
Leon,
Adults.
I'm in college, dude.
Everyone is not going to agree with everything you say. They don't agree with you, your own family. And this is 100% a fact. Don't agree with you with
Love
everything
you
you
too.
do. And y'all know it. So stop it. Stop the capping. Stop. Stop. Be an adult. Be able to have a mature conversation. How are people going to agree with you when you're so sensitive and emotional and you have a pissy fit?
I'm studying liberal arts, but I'm gonna study later on film and TV.
Mm-hmm. And I have 2 other children. They have double degrees. My daughter, she's running around.
Yeah, I gotta catch up.
Yeah, they have double degrees, masters and everything you could think of. And my daughters, you'll probably see her running for president literally one day. I'm serious. So we have our whole family, extended family, are all successful. Everybody's entrepreneurs, business owners. Everybody have single homes, drive luxury cars. So my whole entire family, extended family, God has blessed us because we don't look for man to do for us. Our help coming from God. That's who our help come from. So that's who we depend on. This is just discussion because God is the one that put man up. God put Trump up in that office because God put up and God takes down. And God is in control. That's why that bullet couldn't take that man out. That's why it didn't happen because God is in control. But anyway, you guys, he said, let your light shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father in heaven. And he said that no weapon formed against us shall prosper, and every time that rise up in judgment, thou shalt condemn. He said thy enemies shall come out against thee in several ways. But God, he said that he'll have them flee before you. And he said we're the head and not the tail, and above only not beneath. So we are so thankful.
Yeah. Joan said if your daughter believes in the things you do, she would have my vote.
Okay, yeah. My daughter is, you see how I am. Okay, yeah, I know. My daughter she is that person. She really is. And she following my foot. She really is. But like God said that she calls her enemies that rise up against thee to be smitten before thy face. They come out against thee one way and flee before thee in 7. So I just want to put it because we're covered with the blood of Jesus from the crown of our heads to the soles of our feet. And we're so thankful to God just for, it's a good thing when people can talk, and that's what people are lacking right now. But if you can't handle it, then just bounce. That's all. So you got anything else you want to say before we get off?
Yeah, it's just I gotta say, definitely need some more moderators.
Yeah, we need some more moderators. Yeah, because people are so angry and upset. I've never seen even Democrats. Every time I voted, for a Democrat leadership, whether it was my congressman, senator, president. And I never knew the party that I had belonged to was so hateful and so angry. I didn't know that we were supposed to be angry. I thought that they were supposed to be God-fearing and for the people. What has happened? I didn't know. I didn't know that the party was so mean-spirited. I was always told the way the Democrats are acting, I was told that was the Republicans. That they were racist, that they were mean, that they hate black people, all that. I was always told that was the Republicans. What happened? What happened? Most of the mean comments are coming from the Democrats. All the freaking mean comments are coming from the Democrats. Because they feel as though black people, till Jesus come back, supposed to support a party that hasn't done a damn thing for us and never will. They don't even promise us anything long. We just give them 93% of the vote. They said we don't even have to give them fools anything. We'll bring a whole nother voting block to come in so we can retain power from now until 100 years from now. That was a great plan, but guess what? We see you now. That was an awesome plan. They didn't care about destroying this country. They don't care about that. They still pushing that agenda. Still pushing it.
A lot of agendas.
Yeah, but doing nothing for American citizens. And we voted for these fools.
Crystal is just a hater. She's been hating the whole stream.
Who?
Crystal.
Well, that's how she feels. She
her feelings.
they not doing nothing. I don't care. Maybe they doing something for her because I don't see anything. Only thing, you watch every news program or broadcast, no matter who you listen to, whether it's who I always had listened to, MSNBC, CNN, CBS, NBC, all Meet the Press, Morning Joe, you name it. I was an avid listener. I was believing it, all of it. They talking about being non-biased. Yeah, right. Yeah, they were most definitely biased. So anyway, you guys, God is good, and if you lack wisdom, just ask God for it. Keep your focus on God, not on man, because men are fallible. You can't put everything into people.
Turtle, that was a very original joke, bro, or whatever you are. That was a really good one. I laughed so hard at that.
It's okay. God is still sitting on the throne and he's still in control of everything. But we just hope, in spite of whatever, y'all know everybody don't agree with you. So we're not even going to play that game. But we just pray in the mighty name of Jesus that you be blessed. Beloved above all, I wish that thou may prosper and be in health, even as thy soul prosper. And God said, when people persecute you and they say all things about you, you bless them. You pray for them, and that's what we're going to do for you. Because then, you know what we're doing? We're opening up the windows of heaven that God will pour us out a blessing that we don't have room enough to receive. So when people don't mistreat you and all that, you show them, you be kind to them. Show them love. Show them love.
McNeil said, cut and Medicaid for those who need the help the most is not what Jesus wants.
Well, you know what? I think it's so much fear-mongering going on that that's supposed to be for people with disability, seniors, and those who need it. But the people that are on it why do we have millions of illegal immigrants on it? Because that's not a bottomless pit. The money is running out. And the people that are on it are not going to lose it. The only thing that they're requiring of them is to work 20 hours a week. What is that, 2 days out of 7 days a week? And then 4 hours. They only have to work 2 days, 8-hour days, and 4 hours. And they have the rest of the week off. Yeah. That's all they have to keep their entitlements.
Yeah,
that's it.
We've already read Leviticus, the verse Leviticus 18:22. That's why that's one of the main reasons we don't support the Democratic Party.
But God is not into sin. God is not, you're not going to reason with God, and you're not going to change the word of God. You can convince a man or someone what you believe in or yourself, but you're not the creator, and you're not going to change God's mind. God is not going to entertain sin. He's holy. He's God. He's not going to entertain sin, period. We're not the ruler. God is. So anyway, you guys, we're going to jump off. Thank you for spending your time with us. Don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, notification if you like the content. We are going to start doing an Instagram. We Speak the Truth 2.0. We're going to start, loading up on there, and we're going to expand, our reach and whatever. And I guess all content creators, we're new to all of this. I guess this is what they go through. People now in 2025, the whole party, Democratic Party, want them so, and I was part of it. I'm glad I got off of that boat. To be angry like that.
Patricia, how is this misinformation? Please explain to us.
Is it because you're not saying what she wants to hear? We can't be any clearer and concise than what we have, the things that we have even spoken in the last 5 minutes, even lifting them up in prayer. We can't be any clearer. But you have a right, whatever you believe. Then are we mad? No. Do we have a problem with it? That's you. That's all you.
Paul, that's a great point, but some Democrats actually did follow immigration laws, like Barack Obama. You could look it up, but there's been multiple Democrat presidents that were totally against. Even, but there's a video of Biden being totally against illegal
Barack
immigration.
Obama was against it. He deported more people than any other president. They call him the president in chief of deporting people.
Deporter in chief.
Deporter in chief. And all of them felt the same way. Every president, even Hillary Clinton, the former what was she? The former Secretary of State that ran for president. They all were for closed borders. They all were for deportation. But when Trump came along, but see, somebody that was at the top above Obama, because I don't even think he was the president last administration. I was saying it was Obama. I think it was above Obama pay scale. It was somebody else. We'll never know, or maybe we will find out who is actually running the government, because we all know at this point it wasn't Biden. But, the big bright idea was to bring in illegal immigration for votes. It's all about votes. It's all about power. And that's what it's always about. It's not about us. It's not about Democrats. It's not about Republicans. It's not about non-voters. It's not about illegal immigrants. It's about power. And they thought that was a great way for them to retain power, because they got the black vote on lockdown. They said we could bring in a whole nother voting block, because black people are so dumb, we don't even have to promise them a damn thing.
Or do anything.
Keep them suppressed. Keep them thinking they need welfare. Keep them thinking that they got to depend on the government instead of getting that education. Get your education. Learn. Do what's right. Then you don't have to worry about getting caught up in the judiciary system and being mistreated and all of these things. Because if you go before a judge, you're going to get the bad end of the stick. Always. Always. So get the memo. Be smarter. Be smarter. God bless you. God bless you too. Thank you, Paul. That's Paul?
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, we got to be smarter. Contribute to this country. Do great things. You know how many brilliant people are sitting in those prisons right now? And they thought that the best way to get what they wanted was to steal and do the wrong things. Don't do that. Go to school. Make something of yourself. Make your family proud. That's what we should be pushing. Not, I'm going to give you free bus rides. Or I'm gonna give you SNAP. No, get a job.
God bless you too.
Get a job.
God bless you.
God bless you.
There's someone spamming debate me.
Who are you? Do you have a following?
He's been talking the whole stream. He said now we're ignoring him and he wants to debate.
Well, you can always super chat if you want us to read something, because it's thousands of people that speak to us in a chat. Thousands of people. When we in our chat, it'd be like 4,000 or 5,000 comments, believe it or not. It'd be a lot of people in here. So if you want to stand out, and you know what we're going to do is someone that we are going to debate. We're going to bring them on, because we want to start bringing people on. We want to get our intro, because we need to increase our watch time and things like that, because we're a new channel. I've been doing this for a few months, technically having this channel. So we're learning.
Jess said, look at the TDS patients crashing out because they ain't getting attention from the host.
A lot of hosts and stuff, they don't even talk to y'all. We talk to y'all.
Someone said, hello, beautiful.
Hi. A lot of them, you go on some of these other channels, they don't even talk to their communities. They don't even talk to y'all.
Debate me. Say your arguments. Say
who are you? Yeah, well, send us, and when we go off, put your email in the comments, and we'll check you out to bring you on. But you have to speak in a clear, concise manner and use the dictionary. We're not gonna bring somebody on that just want to yell and be a fool and just shove your point. You can make your point and we'll make ours. Because debating is listening to both people. That's what it is. So just leave your emails. Anybody want to leave their emails, that's fine. And we're going to look into it. And we're going to even have a contest with new subscribers, because we want to reach 100,000 subscribers that have monetary, rewards or whatever for subscribing to our channel.
See, that's what you bunch do. You don't actually say your point. You just insult. Now you're trying to insult me. I just said say your point. Say what you believe.
Well, you know what? We're going to jump off. if you want us to answer any of your questions, we can't see all the chat. Leave us a comment once we sign off, and we will respond to your comments. I say that each live that you have to put it and come back to the channel and go and leave a comment. Someone, like you said, debate you, whoever your name is or whatever, put your email, because we will have to send you a link to your email. So you can't do anything, and we can't even bring you on without your email address. So you have to put your email address, and we'll consider you. We'll take into consideration.
Oh, he said he was talking to someone else.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
But he still wants to debate us.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about us. Okay. Well, anybody who does want to come on the show one day, just put your email, and we'll consider you. Okay, especially people that have our membership or people that's been supporting us. I think they really should come on first, to bring them on.
First is that guy.
Chevy, we gotta let Chevy come on.
Oh yes.
We'll bring him on. When Chevy, next time he come on, we'll have him put his email in and bring him on. But we'll start like even some of our moderators and stuff, let them come on, because they've been like supporting us.
Yeah. We're not trying to get people on who's gonna just be intolerable and trying to insult.
Well, that show gonna end real fast because you're not gonna take over our platform. You're not gonna take over our show, so that's not gonna happen. But we want to hear from you, and we're willing to do that. And we're not trying to change your mind, and just believe you're not gonna change our mind. You're not gonna change our mind. I've been on both sides. Okay, you guys, I'm ready to get off of here. And like I said, don't forget to hit the like, share, subscribe, and the notification bell so that you'll be notified. Tomorrow we are coming on for the cabinet meeting that's to be announced. I don't know at what time that Trump is going to hold a cabinet meeting. And we're going to be on when the presidents from Congo and Rwanda come. I most definitely we're going to broadcast that.
Leon, you need to just read your Bible, because it says in there that Jesus Christ was a Jewish man.
Okay, you guys.
Man. Okay, guys.
So anyway, God bless you. Thanks for joining us. And join us again. We will be on tomorrow. Hit that notification bell and support the channel. You go with Super Chat us. We're building our platform. So, it takes time, you guys. We're new, and we're learning. It's a lot that we have to learn, but we're trying. Anyway, God bless you, and enjoy the rest of your night.
Okay, bye.